So this has been hard fought for me, but I decided that I mattered, and I wanted to get better, and I wanted to find root cause, and I wanted to fix me, because no one knew what to do with me. And that is something that, spoiler alert, I've clawed my way back, and there is hope. My life was interrupted at age 47. I have nothing to disclose because for 13 years I've struggled to just get through any given day. My timeline of medical is in 2011 I had to jump off of a cliff and give up a corporate career that I loved dearly. Self-diagnosed Dercum's in 2013, Dr. Herbst confirmed very quickly. 2015, first autoimmune disease identified. 2017, at a Dr. Herbst appointment, she clearly said to me, "You're circling the drain. All of the lifestyle changes that you have made, and they were significant, have not improved your health. Something more serious has got to be wrong. I think we need to get genetic testing done." And that started my genetic testing foray. And it started with the whole genome and basically came back with nothing was identified. In 2019, I saw Dr. Herbst again. 2021, I was diagnosed, or sorry, 19, I saw Dr. Herbst again, still circling the drain. We need to go and get your data. Get your data, get your data. Get your genetic data and parse it, look at it, we've got to scrub it. In 2020, I got my data. And I was ticked off, furious, because there was a short list that I was not given because I didn't display symptoms in 2017 for the short list of items. And now I will tell you, get your data, empower yourself. You have a right to your own data, you have a right to scrub your data, you have a right to see what might be coming. The hindsights that this has given me and the insights that I have in my future that might be coming, I can do something about that, but I can't be met blindsided. And that's why I'm here today, to tell you what I did, how I did it, and hopefully motivate you to become CEOs of your own healthcare. Dr. Herbst and I are working on a co-publishing of my case now, since last year. I've also identified a core deficiency in my own data, and it was in CoQ10 core deficiency. And I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. I am doing better right now than I was a year ago. I barely remember a year ago. Look out, I'm back. Now, that deficiency does not mean you have that deficiency. That means it was in my data, my genetic story. Genes are not your destiny, but they tell your story. You have to understand your story if you are not getting better. That's what I want to encourage all of you to do. Pull up your big girl and boy pants and dig in yourself. I literally spent 17 hours a day at my sickest trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I could not ask Dr. Herbst to do that for me. How many patients does she see in any given day? But it mattered to me because my life was hijacked. I'm now enrolled in an NIH study, and in May or June, I will be inpatient for 3 days, and I am going to let them take tissue and samples and completely take anything that they want if I can help anybody not go through what I'm going through. The study is for immunodeficiency. Another reason I'm ticked off is because I was told that I have persistent HPV for 26 years of my life. I can't fight it, I can't get rid of it. In the short list that I received in 2020, immunodeficiency was on that short list. Well, that would have been lovely to know back then. So I'm turning anger into action, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm also going to write a book because my family deserves to know the legacy of my genes, and I want to share it when they're ready, specifically my nieces and nephews. So I had to leave my job to become CEO of my own healthcare. I have a board of directors. Dr. Herbst is on the short list. So thank you for everything you've done to bring life back to me. I cannot ever repay you for all of that. I have a rheumatologist at the U of M who has also taken great care in my case, and also my husband. I would not be here today without that. But I had to become, after I left my job, full-time CEO and quarterback. I have a health journal that goes all the way back to my first appointment with Dr. Herbst. I search it all the time to find patterns and things that might have triggered something. I need to keep a village of doctors. Last 18 months, I had 29 doctors because what I have is systemic. PowerPoints. I'm dubbed PowerPoint girl by Dr. Herbst. I don't go to any appointment without a PowerPoint in hand. Similar to what is up here, with slightly different details, catered to each doctor's appointment. And I collect every single one of my medical records. I want to know what they're writing about me. I want to look up terms I don't know. I want to understand labs that I don't get. And I want to put together the puzzle, because it's a puzzle. And I've had to be a jack of all trades. I'm a tenacious researcher, a citizen scientist, a medical detective, and now I'm going to jump into writing a book. So wish me well. I don't know what I'm getting into. When you work with your doctors, teach them who you are, but also teach them who you were before you were flattened. I was a AA personality, work hard, play hard, training for triathlons, corporate job, never stopped. To 6 out of 7 days, I couldn't get up and do a thing. Barely could take a shower. 13 years of that. Write down your medical history on a one-page quick summary. Keep it short and brief. Your surgical history, short and brief. Page 1, page 2 of your PowerPoint. List your ongoing symptoms. Compare your life now to then. And for example, bring your data. For me, it was a vasculitis and how many outbreaks by month and area in my body. It was my heart rate. It was out-of-range lab work that made 0 sense. Remember, there are also epigenetics involved in genetics. So just because a gene is there doesn't mean it's your destiny. And I understand the geneticist that didn't want to give me my data. However, I won't accept that now. I have my data. And I've been putting together and hoarding puzzle pieces of stories that didn't make sense in my life. I've been able to connect clues. I was born with a rare cyst in my neck, a rare tumor in my tailbone. A doctor told me I should have bought a lottery ticket because there were only 32 cases in the country. That's not how I looked at it, but that's how he looked at it. I've also been told by other doctors that I was born in the wrong 50 years because my puzzle does not make sense to anyone. Well, I'm living it, and if I'm now almost 60 and I add 50, that would make me 110. I'm not waiting. I'm not going to sit still. I am going to fix me. So now I've connected the cyst in my neck and my tailbone to FAS. Apoptosis is impaired cell death function. That's what the cyst in my neck and the tailbone tumor was, and I can find it in reputable medical journals. And I've tied the puzzle piece of persistent HPV in as well to immunodeficiencies. And I can tie CoQ10 into vasculitis because since I started CoQ10 a year ago at this conference, I've had 0 outbreaks of vasculitis, 0. I had 3 to 5 a month, and they were horrific. I also was being told I might need a pacemaker, and now I've had 0 bradycardia events since CoQ10. For me, that was magic. And ALPS and reticulin fibrosis are also, ALPS and vasculitis are connected to another deficiency I'm hot on the trail of, which is DADA2. Stay tuned for more information coming on that. I'm working on getting the test. This is the suspicion of DADA2, and I'm just putting my puzzle together. Until I solve it, I can't put it aside. So I have all these pieces of paper everywhere, and I work it a little bit every day. I follow clues. I read all kinds of things. My question is, oops, it didn't come out right, If the DNA can solve cold case crimes, why can't your DNA solve cold case medical odysseys? I truly believe we're on the cutting edge. DNA for cold case crimes did not really become prevalent until the 80s, late 80s. I'm ready now, and I'm ready to help teach all of you what I did and how I got the clarity and the insight. There's whole genomes, and then this one. My sister sent this to me because she knows I'm deep in my genetics. And the truth is, I want to know what type of dog peed on the snowman. That's where I'm going. Okay, that's where pathogenic and rare diseases live, and I am all about that. The whole genome will search 20 to 25,000 of your genes. It's your data. There are now home kits for less than $400. You get your home kit, you have your data for your life. Once a month, it's updated with ClinVar, and it's updated for the rest of your life. It's your data forever. It won't change. So study it. Don't boil the ocean, but look for that 10% dog pee and focus there on you and what you have going on in your puzzle pieces. Figure that out. The last year since Dr. Herbst presented my case, I've been deep in a rabbit hole of 109 seminal genes related to ALPS and also immunodeficiency, which I now know I was born with and never told about. I have connected them, all of these 109 genes, to Dercums, to tailbone tumor, to persistent HPV, to vasculitis, and also I think DADA2 is in this picture very significantly. I did intense gene scrubbing, and I've leveraged the Human Genome Project as my source. And I pinpointed in that genome 9.8% of the whole genome that is specifically tied to where diseases possibly live due to proteins and amino acids that cannot be properly created. And I have scrubbed my data for those 109 genes, and I truly have found major ahas there. And then I focused on the amino acids where the protein cannot get created, therefore the amino acid cannot be properly working in your body, and therefore the body cannot function. It's different for everyone. Figure out where your breakdowns in your genetic variants are, and don't let anybody tell you that you don't have symptoms yet. This is a KEGG pathway. When Dr. Herbst asked me to find my KEGG pathway for these 109 genes, I almost got into the fetal position and cried because what the heck is a KEGG pathway? But it is actually a diagram of genes that are expressed in certain types of conditions, and this happens to be cancer. And right now, I have 13 of my 36 ALPS genes are tied to an enrichment in the cancer, which is the insight I have. The past makes sense. I know where the future is going for me with ALPS and all of the other things. However, I also have the SCID genes in the KEGG pathway, and I have 6 of the 61 genes in that pathway. But I am not going to sit still, and I'm not going to let it happen. Prevention. I'm not going to react. I'm going to fight like a girl who doesn't want to be flattened anymore. You give me a taste of life again in 1 year, this last year, sky's the limit now. Look out, look out. I have a plan, and I'm going to focus on fixing apoptosis, cellular mitochondrial health. I'm going to work on detoxification and getting to my mitochondria, and autophagy, where you can get your body to eat the bad stuff out of your body. And I'm going to go there and create my own stem cells. So get your data, and if I can do it, who knows nothing about genetics when I started this, you can do it too. Get your data. Do your research. Put together your puzzle pieces. Ask why. Be curious. Be your own advocate. Personalized medicine, I believe, is in the future, not that far away. We cannot be treated as if we're an algorithm in a box and that we all fit. We don't. We don't. And that is where this needs to go. Be your own medical detective. Solve your own cold case of medical odysseys. And in closing, I am going to, and I have started an Instagram page. I will teach on this page what I've done to get here myself. If anybody wants to follow, I will help you. And anybody that wants to talk to me, I can give you the nuggets to get going on your own. Thank you.